Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you are new here, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and don't forget to like, share and comment. So let's get started. So this video today is specifically for parents who would like to in future send their children abroad to study, to work, I don't know, whatever, but you do not know where to start and you don't know what is the right thing to do. This video might be just for you, and I might be talking from a little bit of experience because I went to work as a girl who was not yet married. I went to work in South Africa for like 2 years, and I've also been living in Europe for the past 5 years, and I get to interact with a lot of young girls because I do hair, so I get to talk to them while we do the hair. And so I just picked up a few things from my own experience and also from what I have got from the girls that I speak with. So the first thing that you have to put to mind before you send your child anyway, I think this also is just in general what you should teach your child so that they can be prepared for whatever that comes to them. So before you send your child out of the house to come do au pair in Europe, to come study in Europe, you have to ask yourself this question: is my child independent? So I think as parents, we all know our children's strengths and weaknesses, and there's this child that you just see that my child is not independent enough. So if you notice some kind of that sort of weakness, I would advise you not to send your child anyway. First of all, try to work on those weaknesses first, because it turns out that when young kids, when young girls, young boys come to Europe, or they just go to a foreign country, they get overwhelmed with a lot of things, a lot of peer pressure, and sometimes it really needs you to be a strong person, to have a strong heart for you to be able to control all of those emotions. Otherwise, if you are someone who just goes with the wind, and if someone just says, okay, we're going to the club, you follow. Oh, okay, we're going to drink, you follow. You are not going to really make it. Okay, so I think these are some of the things that as parents you have to really know your child's, like if you can see that my child is not even coping while she or he is here with us, the parents, then there might probably be a very big probability that that child might come to Europe and might just end up going astray. So it's not a way of getting rid of your child. Otherwise, he or she's gonna end up in a lot of bigger problems than that they can have when they are still at home. So you really need to work on those weaknesses on your child before you send them to Europe, because it's gonna be too overwhelming for them when they come here, and you don't know what might end up happening. Okay, so this is the first thing. And the second thing is you have to teach your child financial literacy. And when I say financial literacy, I'm not saying they should learn about anything complicated, just to be organized with money, because something that I get to see, especially I'm going to talk more about here in Europe, here in Germany, because this is the experience that I have right now. Okay, so what I notice is this is a child who never owned like $5 to their name. Okay, they've been at home with mommy and daddy, and when they want to go buy shoes, they just go say, mommy, can I have some shoes? And mommy gives the money, go buy the shoes. Mommy, I want my pads, and mommy gives them the money. So they don't know how to go about money, how to save money, how to work with money. So when they come here now, and life here is, if you are someone who lives the day as it comes, I'm telling you, you will not make it. You need to be really, really organized when it comes to money. So we need to teach our children about financial literacy so that they know what is important and what is not important when it comes to money. Yeah, so it's really, really important that you teach your child. And this is something I think as African parents, we are still a little bit lagging behind. It's something that we should even start to teach our children at a very tender age. You need to start to teach your children how to work with money while they're still very young, so that you don't start when the child is already old and now someone just gets money and they start with the not important things, and then when it's time for the important things, now they don't have any more money. And another thing also is, especially to just know that life here in Europe is very expensive. So when you hear them saying, if you come here as an au pair, you're going to get 300 euros, that is nothing when you're here in Europe. It's nothing, because a third of that money is just going to go and buy your ticket for the month, your train ticket for the month. 1/3 of that money. So I think that just shows you, and maybe half that is left is gonna just pay for your language course. So you really need to be an organized person for you to make it while you are here in Europe. Even if you are studying, you are allowed to work for a very short period of time, so your finances will be very, very limited. So you really need to teach your child how to be financially literate, so that they don't get, sometimes when the money is not enough, that's when sometimes our children end up looking for the money in the wrong ways. So it's much better that you teach your child how to live with that little money that they're getting. If you're just organized enough, you'll be able to go through. But if you're not an organized person when it comes to money, then you're gonna be crying all the time. So as parents, this is some of the things that we need to do like a checklist on our children before we send them out, and see, is my child going to make it, or it's gonna be difficult? I have to work on some things before I can send them out. It's just so important. And then I'm going to talk about the last point that I really think also that as parents we really need to talk to our children about before sending them out of the house. And this is something that I don't know how we can do about this, but we really need to talk about this. And it's about sex. We have to talk to our children about sex, and we have to talk to them why they should and should not have sex. We should tell them how they can have it and still be safe. Okay, because we cannot still hide behind, because sometimes what us as African parents do, we just tell our children, if you do it, you get pregnant. Okay, so don't do it, because if you do it, you're getting pregnant. But that doesn't guarantee you that the child is not going to do it. So as much as we don't want them to do it, and as much as we're going to emphasize on them trying to keep themselves, because at the end of the day, it's a very complicated thing to just indulge in when you're not prepared. So in as much as we want to tell them to stay safe, protect them as themselves, abstain, we also have to prepare them for the worst. If it happens, what do you do? And what do you have to do for you to be safe? Okay, because sometimes you see that our children, they just come, like when they are back at home with us, it's okay, because we tell them, I want you to be here by 6 o'clock, and they cannot just go out without explaining themselves. So there's a kind of a way of controlling their movements, and that way it might, although it doesn't work all the time, but sometimes it protects our children. But then when they are not in the house, especially when they are here in Europe, there's too much freedom. Like, it's just too much, and it's overwhelming for someone who is coming from an African home where they were not allowed to even cough, and then now they just see all this freedom and they're like, hallelujah. So it's really important that we talk to our boys and our young boys and girls about sex, so that they are prepared. You tell them about contraception, you tell them about protection, you talk to them about HIV, about AIDS. It's not embarrassing to talk to your children about sex. It's not, because at the end of the day, you have to accept the fact that they're still gonna do it. It's not like they are made of wood, and especially when they come here and the freedom is just too much, you know, you just feel overwhelmed. You're like, oh my god, so it means I can do all this and my mom will not even know. Wow. So if you trained your child to be scared of you and not to respect themselves and to respect their body, it means that when they come here now, they're gonna see the difference and they're gonna try to experiment with different things. So it's really, really important that you really teach your kids about sex. You teach them about contraception, about protection. Very important before you let your child go out, because yeah, at the end of the day, when bad things happen, we end up like, okay, you come here and then the child is just crying, money is not enough, blah blah blah. You know, there are just some things that you could have avoided, but then because you just overlooked it, like, you know, she will cope. How is she going to cope? How is he going to cope when you didn't equip them with the right equipment to be able to conquer? So this is just a video that I just thought, okay, maybe I have to talk about it. And if there's something that you also feel like I left out, you're also free to put it in the comment section and let's talk, and tell me what you think also about this thing. And yeah, thank you so much. Peace.